Welcome to Firefall Live. I'm Phobos, joined as always by FadedPez and ThaCheez.
Hey.
What's up?
We've got a great show for you today. We're actually going to bring on Matt Cucuzza, one of our gameplay programmers, who's working with the crafting team to redo our crafting system and really iterate on what we've got in the game. So some great stuff coming up. But first, I think we want to cover some of the community news and some of the stuff that's happening at Red 5. I think last week or the week before that, we released our milestone goals, where we talked about everything that we're working on.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys can check that out. Be sure to check the blog for a rundown of everything that we're working on. Some of that stuff we're going to keep kind of close to the chest, like the content and things like that.
Yeah.
Because we really want to make sure that's a nice big surprise for you guys. But the stuff that we do want to talk about are the progression systems and the crafting system. So last week we had Cameron Winston, Care Bear, on the show talking about progression and the new battle frames and things that are coming with that. Today we're going to talk about crafting and expect over the next few weeks to continue that discussion, going into more details on progression and crafting and everything else that's happening along those lines. Because those are some pretty major systems that we really want to make sure you guys understand how that's going to work and how what's going to come with that. So we're coming pretty close to the decisions being made on a lot of that stuff.
Yep.
So we're still holding back a little bit of the information because decisions are still being argued back and forth. But once those are finally done, a lot more details can come out with those. So we sent out a patch last Wednesday.
Woo!
So
This Wednesday, yeah.
This Wednesday, last Wednesday, whatever.
It feels
Wednesday,
It all
last
just
Wednesday.
blurs together,
it all
right?
blurs together. Huge
Could be
deal with
last
that.
year.
Huge deal with that was the fact that Twitch TV is now integrated into the game.
Woo!
Yes.
Which I don't know. I mean, some of these guys, you don't really understand. Well, poor Tony, you missed out on.
I know. I got like two. I got two claps in there.
Well, you put your cup down. You
I was just so concerned. I didn't want to just throw it down.
Yeah.
There's hot liquid
This
in
is
there.
exciting stuff. It's okay to throw it down.
It's true.
Except that we have a nice carpet. Please don't mess up the carpet. So anyways, Twitch is integrated into the game, which is a huge deal because that's a major thing. Please let us know what you guys think about that. It's still, in a just beginning phases, so there are a lot more features to come with that, but we wanted to make sure to get in the game, start getting some testing before we really worked it. We're working pretty closely with the guys at Twitch to rework their SDK and really add some more features and really make sure that that is
cool.
awesome. So really awesome stuff.
Yeah.
As part of that, today, we'd love everyone to help us test that out by streaming on Twitch TV. So we're streaming right now on Twitch, so that's awesome. Starting at 11, right after the show, every hour up until 7 o'clock, the hour of 7 to 8, we will be giving away a new Razer mouse to anyone streaming Firefall. To one person per hour. Whoa, before I start
Reel it back in there, Phobos. Reel it back.
So, let me clarify that one more time. We will be giving away one Razer mouse per hour, 8 hours, for the next 8 hours after the show starts.
At random.
At random. We'll pick somebody streaming. You don't have to be streaming anything in particular. There's some great stuff going on. There's a Sabotage PvP get together. Everybody really wants to hammer Sabotage and really play some PvP. That's happening right after the show. There's a lot of great stuff coming on.
Well, there is one thing you have to be streaming in particular. I mean, Firefall, right? I mean,
I'm saying
that goes without saying, right?
This is
so
my
it's like,
cat.
but I mean,
be
we're also gonna make sure that you're not just sitting there idling, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna go in there and make sure that you're actually like streaming and actively talking and like whatever, interacting with the world.
Yeah, so please make sure, make your streams entertaining so that we can actually have something fun to watch for the next 8 hours.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
Yeah.
I love watching streams. Anyone that streams Firefall, I usually always follow. It's cool.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of good people out there.
Another big thing that came in the patch was the Tiki Thumper is now in the game. So the Founders Rewards, all the Founders Rewards are now in the game, so you guys can use. Tiki Thumper is pretty awesome. I think it looks really cool.
It looks
I like it.
amazing.
So enjoy that.
Great.
For anybody that's a founder that is currently a founder or anyone that wants to be a founder, you can get all your founder rewards plus the bonus rewards in-game right now. So those are still available for a limited time. Be sure to pick those up at beta.firefallthegame.com/founders. But that's it for the Red 5 news. We're really working on the milestone. That's our big goal. You'll probably see a couple extra patches between now and the end of the milestone. We want to try to get some small features in so that we can just get those in and start testing them. But the major stuff like new content is not going to come until the end of the milestone, just because that takes a lot of time.
Yep.
So, but some really cool stuff going on, and hopefully we'll release more and more information of that as time goes on. What I do want to mention that's not on our list here is PAX East.
Spoilers.
Yeah. What?
Okay.
I don't know.
Like, spoiler. This is a spoiler to me
We
as well.
talked about it last week.
Oh,
PAX East, we will be out there, PAX East, all three of us, as well as Maximus Panicus and a new guy to the community team you guys haven't met yet. So if you guys want to join us at PAX East, please be sure to come out. We have 2 events that are basically going on. One is at PAX. It's a private press event that we'll be doing, and we want to invite some community members to join us on that. So if you're interested, let us know. It'll be limited seating, but we'll go ahead and get you guys in. For that, we'll also be doing the Firefall live broadcast from that press event. So that'll be those same people will be able to join us for the broadcast of Firefall live.
Live studio
We'll have
audience.
We'll have a live audience.
Live
Oh
audience.
man.
People that actually laugh and clap at our stuff.
Yeah, I'm like,
rather than our
I'm like
current.
Marjorie, who's just always
With the
wielding
knife.
knives.
Put it down. Seriously.
Seriously, what's the deal? Why do you have so many? It's like she has a new set every week. I don't understand it. It's a lot of money.
The
in
other
cutlery.
thing that's happening at PAX East is we're going to do a community meetup off-site, so you don't need to have a badge or anything for PAX since PAX is pretty much sold out. I mean, I think they still have some Saturday passes.
So you at least have to be in Boston, though.
You have to be in Boston.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We're not going to fly you in or anything. But we're going to be doing a community meetup. We've
March
got
22nd.
March 22nd,
Yeah,
on Friday, March 22nd. Probably around evening time, I think, is what we're
Probably
currently-
like 5 o'clock, between like 5 to
So
7.
details are still being figured out for that, but we'll be just meeting up at a bar or a restaurant to have some fun, meet and greet, appetizers
free.
and drinks, and it's free. So be sure to join us for that. Let us know if you want to attend so we can kind of get a gauge for how many people. I think right now we've got about 20-something people signed up, but let us know if you want to come so we can kind of make sure we have the right space.
I'm looking for a place that's not just 21 and older, so you can. So it's open to people who are like 19, 20. If you can't, I don't want you to be excluded.
Yeah. So
I mean,
That's
that doesn't
coming-
mean that I won't be drinking. But
he'll be wasted.
yeah,
before-
I'll be good. I won't even remember you're there.
We'll be pre-gaming on Firefall Live.
Oh god.
Well, and we have the tailgate before Firefall Live,
Right,
the
right, right.
press event.
Yeah.
And we
There's
got
just
Firefall Live itself. You don't think that's not coffee, folks? That's
no,
vodka.
just
right there.
straight warm vodka.
It's not straight. I mean, it's pretty much like a White Russian in there.
I am the dude.
Anyways, that's it for Red 5 News. Community news, what's happening?
So community news, lots of racing events popping up all of a sudden, right? So we got the Army of Anarchy 99 is organizing a race from Sunken Harbor to Thump Dump, not the tower, the actual POI. That's going to be next Friday at 6 p.m. Pacific. That's also 2 a.m. on the 23rd GMT.
Okay.
So, which is also noon for you Aussies on the 23rd.
Wow. I didn't think we were converting to Australian time. Do we have to turn it upside down or anything?
Yes.
Okay.
So basically, if you're in Australia, you're racing from Thump Dump to Sunken Harbor.
I get it. Geography.
Anyway, so we have that event by Anarchy 99. Funi's also organizing an event. I think that starts today, basically right after the show.
Yeah.
It's at it's basically going to be a race event through TransHub.
Are all these people using Lemon King's like new mod?
I don't know.
Because
I don't think it works anymore.
On accident.
Yeah, I think it broke
On
during,
accident, right?
Well, I mean, we didn't know it existed. It's kind of hard to.
Lemon King.
Poor Lemon King. Sorry.
That was
Sorry,
cool,
Lemon King. It's a very cool add-on.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, Lemon King wrote an add-on that like you can place markers in the world to have a racetrack built. It's pretty awesome stuff. But unfortunately, I don't think it's fully supported, and it's a work in progress. So.
And even I think Necro's going to be coming back under a new name, and they're going to be I think they're starting to plan out an event.
suggestions.
Yeah,
On the forum, they're taking suggestions for the new name.
I heard some pretty cool ones so far. So, but also since you mentioned Lemon King creating add-ons, doing a great job creating add-ons, I also wanted to highlight. We also have ThaCheez, Hanachi, Arky that also do a good job of creating add-ons for the community.
It's pretty awesome considering we don't support add-ons.
Yeah, we don't have any add-on support, so I wanted to throw a shout out
All
to you
these guys working on some of that stuff is pretty amazing. We do want to support add-ons in the future, but we just don't have the development time right now. So there's a lot of things that will be easier and hopefully more protected in the future with some of the stuff. So keep making the add-ons though. Let us know what you guys like, what you don't like, and then we'll try to incorporate as much as we can into when we build an add-on system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. We also have all kinds of Bane Claws going on. So
you get a Bane Claw.
You get a Bane Claw.
I did get a Bane Claw.
Did you get a Bane Claw?
Everyone gets a
I
Bane
did.
Claw.
Yeah, no. Last week I finally got one. Frail hooked me
Did you
up.
get
and
that?
no, well I didn't get it. I mean,
Well,
I was there. I was doing some stuff.
So you participated.
I participated. No, not. This is. I don't like this clapping because it's sarcastic clapping.
I was hoping that everyone else would.
I was hoping that everybody else would do awkward.
They don't
clapping.
clap for anything. Are you kidding? These guys.
So
Thanks, guys.
Eka Gunny's gathering people to help him. He can finally create his own man, and they're looking for people to help him get his brain bucket. And also, Bane Busters is running. I think every Friday they're running Baneclaw events, courtesy of Scarth and Youngblood.
Yeah.
And both these guys that are, everyone that runs these Baneclaw events, they have some pretty strict requirements because, as you know, it's
tough.
It's a tough fight. It's not just like.
Well, yeah, because you have to have a minimum number of people so that it doesn't scale, but
Right.
those people have to do maximum amount of damage. So
Yep. So.
Hopefully, we'll be making more of these events. You know, people don't understand. Baneclaw was kind of a test. Just to see, like, can we do a massive event with multiple people in the open world? It's not, the encounter itself is not overly complex. Right?
No.
You shoot something and you have to do more damage than it does to you in a short amount of time. Like, that's not a complex encounter. Some of the stuff I know that Xenogenic wants to do and some of the other guys in the office talking about some crazy stuff.
No, yeah.
When we actually get time to work on more boss creatures.
Yeah, I know
pretty
Justin
cool.
said he was really inspired by what we achieved with Baneclaw, and he really wants to.
Because that came together very, very quickly in the grand scheme of things. So if you guys like Baneclaw, let us know what you like about it. Let us know what you don't like about it, so that we can kind of incorporate those things into new boss creatures.
Yeah, definitely. So okay, that's the Baneclaws, and on Tuesday, Limelight Esports had their first Thunderdome. Thunderdome. I checked that out.
Where 2 teams enter and 1 team leaves.
Pretty much. Well, I think both teams left, but.
All right, we're done.
One team's still there. Like, guys, let us out, guys.
Nope, you have to sit in that match until you win next week.
Ouch! Wow, that would be.
So Get Vexed took on the Extras, which is Kabuska's team and Party Size, I believe, is on that.
That's a cool name.
Kabuska.
Yeah.
Kabuska. I don't know.
Kabuska.
What? Kabuska. It's got a.
So.
I like the boo and the ska, and the ka is just an actual, like, it's like a benefit. Moving on.
Moving on.
I don't know why you let me talk.
So.
I see here.
So.
How dare you?
Get Vexed actually came out on top in that Best of 3 series.
Yeah.
And Sambasi and Bloody provided some nice analysis, pregame show, and all that stuff.
Cool.
They're looking for feedback on how they're doing too, because that was their first show, so they, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
I know, Bloody, you asked, like, how's your shoutcasting? I think since it was your first time, you need to do it more, basically. Just get comfortable doing it. That's.
Yeah.
It's repetition, right? I mean, you just got to get comfortable with it, man. So, but I think those guys are doing a great job with what they're doing with Thunderdome there.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm looking at the 3 fat guys sitting on the couch channel. I'm like, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So?
It's 3. Well, it's actually 2 fat guys and on a couch and 1 fat guy in a chair. Thank you very much.
Yeah, get your furniture right, bro.
Yeah.
Step up your game.
And then it's actually probably considered a love seat.
Look, if you're gonna talk trash and then mess up the furniture, all right? Come on.
Get the furniture right at least.
Well, apparently we're now on the front page of Twitch, which is why this is becoming an issue.
Oh, perfect.
So welcome.
Awesome.
Oh, great.
Apparently.
Oh, God.
Great. Well, welcome, Twitch viewers, for those of you that don't know.
Geez.
This is Firefall Live. We do this show every Friday at 10 a.m. to talk about things that are happening in the Firefall community. I guess we're on the front page of Twitch because we're doing this whole Twitch integration stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Today. So for those of you who don't
news.
know, we've integrated Twitch TV into the game. So you can, if you are part of the Firefall beta, you can Twitch stream directly from the game. And we're giving away prizes all day today to people that are streaming Firefall.
What are they getting?
Razor mice. Razor has provided some mice for us.
Sweet.
So we're going to give away some Razor mice every hour for the next 8 hours after the show. So
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
anyways, welcome to the show. If you guys are watching, welcome to Firefall Live. That's pretty much it for the community news and the development news. But today we're also taking it up a notch in Firefall Live.
What?
We have Matt Cucuzza, one of our gameplay programmers, is going to be on the show with us. And he's going to talk about crafting. Ooh. But we also wanted to open up the floor to you guys to ask questions and not just through the chat channel. So we've opened up a Ventrilo server so that you guys can actually call Ventrilo. Call in and actually ask your questions live to Matt and the rest of the team to get an answer for those questions. So To access that the Ventrilo server, Tony's going to head off into the other room in just a minute to start taking those calls, but it's ventrilo.red5studios.com, port 9801?
9810.
9810, sorry. There should be a little thing at the bottom of the screen. If there's not, I'm pointing at something that doesn't exist. So
right here. Here's your port. That's right.
And does that have the password on it too, guys?
Yeah.
Great. So that has a little password there just so we can protect the stream. It's going to limit it to 50 people. So if you want to be in the call, go ahead and hang out in the queue. Tony will go grab you and we'll put you into the right channel whenever we got that on there. So for now, that's how you need to do that. Ventrilo.red5studios.com. Join us on the call. We'll pick people after we get done with Matt Cucuzza. Towards the end of the interview, we'll bring people on to ask more questions.
Ooh.
For now, we're going to take a quick break, though. When we come back, we'll have Matt on the set, and Tony will be in the channel. So thanks a lot, guys.
I'm really excited to meet the team and start meshing with the other people here at Red 5. I've been on the job about 3 or 4 days now. Everything's fantastic. The team is great, but there's this one little thing that's kind of weird.
Hey, no one's given you an LGV yet, right?
What's an LGV?
Hey, Street Fighter tournament right now. Let's go.
Shit.
Oh man, I love having an LGV. Every time someone realizes I got one, they're like, damn, they nasty.
I remember when I got mine. Sherry in shipping gave it to me. I don't know where she got it from. I think Tom in shipping. Anyway, you'll get yours soon enough.
Oh, what the hell? I think certain members of the team are trying to give me an STD.
One more thing before we go to lunch, guys. James, our new hire here, doesn't have an LGV, so maybe one of you guys after lunch can handle that for me?
No, that's quite all right.
Seriously, you can have mine.
No, seriously, it's okay.
But it's free.
So once you get your LGV, we should go riding together. It's not as fun if only one of us has it. Anyway, if we don't have one by the end of the week, feel free to tool around with mine.
No. Nope. Nope. No. Hey, no. No.
What the f***? That guy's sick.
And we're back. We're back from Firefall Fest. We were here talking about these amazing shirts. Now, something that you need to know about these shirts is they're actually flame retardant, which is a pretty
Karen, I don't think you can use that word.
retardant?
Flame. The other day, my son was in his room playing with matches, and I said, you know, God bless America, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And he says, I'm looking into the fire's soul.
Okay,
Which,
all right.
I don't know.
That reminds me of this, the back of the shirt, actually.
I'm worried about
It
that
looks like
kid.
there's some flames in the corner.
My wife is gone, Karen. Haven't,
Okay.
I have not been with a woman in, good Lord. So if you are interested in the t-shirts, if you are lonely, please call the number at the bottom of your screen.
To buy the shirts?
You get buy one, get one free here, just $19.95, including shipping and handling. And also, if you would like to snuggle, I am the lone wolf.
Philip will show up with the shirts for delivery is what he means. He means he will personally deliver the shirts for you.
I am literally living out of my car right now.
Hey, welcome back to Firefall Live. That was a quick little comeback from live there. Bam! No more video.
And we're live.
And we're live. So hopefully you guys did not Google LGV.
Hopefully they
apologies.
did.
That's so gross. I would like to say I was on vacation when they made that video, so I had no say in what happened, but that's... anyways. Well, now we're not three fat guys on a couch. We're now two fat guys and a skinny guy on a couch. So how you doing, Matt Cucuzza?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. So for those of you who don't know, Matt Cucuzza plays by the name UltimaSage online.
Yep.
And you're one of our gameplay programmers.
Yes, I am.
So before we get into what you're working on right now, let's go back in time a little bit and kind of talk about how did you get into the industry? What was kind of your impetus for wanting to join gaming industry?
So I've always played games since I was a little kid. And that was pretty much all I wanted to do
3-4 years
ever.
ago?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like last week. I just graduated from elementary school. No, but actually the story kind of goes back to about 2004 when WoW first came out. That was kind of when I made my first connection at Red 5 Studios. I was playing WoW with Justin Hansen. And we ended up being the final 2 people in the server PvP tournament kind of thing. And I won't tell you
together
who
or
won,
going
but
head to head?
We went head to head.
Yeah.
I won't tell you who won.
Justin.
Yeah, he cheated them. It's okay. Some gamers just need a handicap. You know?
Oh.
He was a Tauren, I was a troll, and that was back when trolls
The
racial
racial
was
was
garbage.
terrible.
Yeah.
War stomp is everything.
Anyways, so you met Justin back in 2004?
Yeah, so we played games together for a while.
Yeah.
I went off to college, got my degree in computer science, and one day I was talking with Justin. He was like, "Hey, we were looking for an intern
So
to
this
come
is like
work for us."
6 years later, almost.
Yeah, it was a long time.
5 years later.
Yeah. He's like, "Hey, we're looking for an intern. We can't really find any at the universities out here. We haven't had any luck." And then I just so happened to have family that lived out here, and I was like, "Well, if you guys are willing to have someone not from your area, I'll come out there and figure out a living arrangement." And so he went out on a limb and got me the interview. I mean, he only knew me through gaming, so that was nice of him.
Yeah.
Obviously, I was not completely retarded in the interview. Got the job as an
Not
internship.
completely.
just a little bit.
Slightly.
So I got the internship, worked for a few months, helped prep for the first PAX video.
Yeah, that's
or
right.
The demo.
So it was right before we went to PAX. You were working on creatures and AI behavior, right?
Yeah. I was working, getting that whole run through of Dredge.
Yeah.
Doing work for that. After that, I ended up going back to school to finish up my master's, worked remotely from Arizona while I was doing that, and then came back full time.
It's awesome. So you've been with us now for, God, how long is it full time?
Full time, a little over a year and a half, I think.
Year and a half. So, and right now you're considered a gameplay programmer. And for those people who don't understand, what is a gameplay programmer versus like a tools programmer or an AI programmer or anything else?
Gameplay programmers program gameplay. I actually do work mostly on AI.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Gameplay programmers work on a lot of the servers and that kind of stuff. Tools programmers work on dev environment, setting up tools for our designers to use.
So when you say you work mostly on AI, does that mean that you do, you tell the AI exactly what to do? Where, go from this point to this point? Do you do with pathing? Do you do
so Eric
behaviors?
does most of the pathing. I'm more at the behavior level.
Okay.
And what I do, we have kind of an interesting problem for the AI team.
Yeah.
Because really this kind of a game hasn't been done. I mean, we're trying to make AI that can react in an open world. We can just throw them into any environment ever, and they just work. And we also have jetpacks on top of that. So it's like, it's kind of a massive problem that we're trying to solve. So we can't really go in and say like, oh, well, we're gonna make this guy run from here to here. It has to be much more generic than that. It has to be, under these circumstances, he's going to do something that resembles this action. And just a lot of time is spent iterating that, playing with them in different environments, seeing basically what happens. I just kind of put stuff together and cross my fingers and like, okay, what does this look like when we put it in an indoor situation, when we put it outdoor, when we put it, against a large group of people.
Right.
We need to make behaviors that are able to react to all of these situations.
Yeah. And so what are you working on right now then? What is the team?
Right now I'm working on the crafting team.
Okay. What does that mean? What is the crafting team responsible for?
So the crafting team, weirdly enough, is responsible for crafting.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty
Breaking
crazy.
news.
Crazy stuff. We weren't really happy with where we left off with crafting. You know, there's a lot of improvements that we wanted to make. We got a lot of great ideas from the community of what we can do to improve the system. And so now what we're doing this milestone is basically distilling all of the information that we've gotten over the past several months and figuring out how exactly we need to fix the crafting system to make it more engaging and to make it something that is entertaining for the majority of people as the backbone of Firefall, right? I mean, we're a resource game, so the thing that uses those resources, you know, the whole point of doing thumpers has to be fun for people.
Right. Well, and that's the thing is, I mean, Firefall, we've said this before, Firefall is a sandbox game with a big resource component to it. Like the whole point of the game is gathering resources. What do you do with those resources? And we haven't completed that circle yet. And we've had even these systems that we need to rebuild or reiterate on pretty heavily. So with crafting, what are kind of the key components that we want players to experience with crafting system?
Well, we want something that is going to last players a long time. We want a deep system that people can really get involved with and you know, kind of like pick their niche in the world and really just drill in and experiment with things and, you know, customize their gameplay and help other people customize their gameplay through the crafting system.
Okay. And so with the upcoming changes, let's talk about, let's drop some bombs.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
Oh, boy.
So what is happening to the current, let's first explain current resources. That the current resources are placed in the world by an overarching system that determines randomly where to place resources and what quality of those resources are.
Yeah.
But what is the problem with our current quality metrics and we talked about it yesterday, like the conductivity, the weights, et cetera. What are some of the problems we encountered with that system?
So one of the biggest problems that we've had is that the resources don't really feel like they're very cohesive, right? They just kind of feel like here's a resource and it has some stat ranges and it can be the best at this one specific stat like conductivity, but there's no real like correlation. I can't really learn anything from playing the game because it's such a random process. One of our biggest goals for this milestone is to really help theme the resources so that everyone out there can understand just by playing the game, like, oh, I'm walking around the world, I can pick up this resource, and I know that if it's a good version of this resource, then it's going to be good in this stat. We don't have that right now. It's just kind of like a pick up this thing and cross my fingers.
So does that mean you mentioned yesterday, we're changing resources?
Yes.
Like the actual resources themselves are going away, the
Yeah.
current iterations of them, and we're actually changing, we're changing the actual, what resources are available. So what does that mean? What's going to happen there?
So in our goal of retheming all of these resources, we want to go ahead and shift them over so there aren't any kind of, you know, prior notions of what a resource is and what it does moving into this new system.
Right.
And we do plan on making these a little more intuitive to players. That's something that we're going through right now is the naming process and figuring out, you know, like, for example, if something was called copper, I might be able to draw from my real life experience and be like, oh, copper is probably conductive.
Right.
Or iron is probably very hard. That's something that we're missing right now because everything is just like, I have no idea what regolith is. I can't really draw any parallels to the real world from those.
Right. So we talked about with the resources each have their special thing that they're good at, but the problem was with our current system, the item that you're trying to create, for instance, the Aztec plasma cannon, might only be all about reload speed. So then I put Azurite into that, and it creates a plasma cannon that has great reload, but has unfortunately it has great reload. It has great damage and everything else because it's not really taking a negative on any certain thing.
Yeah. One of the biggest problems that we have right now with the current system.
And I'm getting called out because Aztrek has fire rate. I'm sorry, I forgot what it was.
Jesus, man.
Have you ever played Firefall? Like, come on.
Oh my god.
Oh God. We need a new host.
So one of the biggest problems that we have right now with the current system is the make better button, as it's been coined in the office.
The make better button?
Yes, the make better button. It's where you pick something like an Aztrek recipe that is slanted towards a specific stat. Then you find another resource that's slanted towards that specific stat, and then you dump it in and push the make better button, and you get something that's better than what you were using before.
But you don't really know.
Yeah, there's no real chance to control your stats. There's no the customization that we wanted to get out of the system isn't present.
Right.
So one of the things that we're doing this milestone is we're going to split all of the attributes on items so you can control them independently of each other. So instead of having, these 3 stats are all pulling from the same formula for this item and they all get boosted, based on a single resource, you're going to be able to, say you're making a plasma cannon, you're going to make a barrel, and that barrel may control accuracy, and accuracy only. And so you can put in the exact resources that you want to get a barrel that is of a certain quality level, right? So you could get, if all you care about on your plasma cannon is damage, you can boost just your damage stat. You can totally tank everything else by putting bad resources into the components that control those other attributes.
Which then affects the constraint system even more, and it actually brings that more into the forefront than it currently is.
Yep. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was just thinking that we have, right now, you have the constraint system. Well, for one, we've removed the constraint system for the temporary time being.
Yeah.
But previously, you wouldn't really have that give and take of the constraint system. The overarching design goal was that you have super high power in one thing, which causes a weight problem. So now you can't have super high powered on something else because that takes weight, and you conversely affect your goals. So you might be totally maxed out with your weapon, but now you can only have one ability, and it's pretty weak because you're just a badass with your weapon.
Yeah.
And we don't have that currently, but it sounds like with this new system, more of those kind of extremes can happen.
Yeah, totally. And it's kind of stemming from the same problem of the make better button, right? It's like I want to have a good plasma cannon, but by doing that, I have to boost all of the stats. And so now my plasma cannon is like all I can do that's really good. Mm-hmm. You lose out on a lot of that customization. With the system that we're moving to, we totally want people to customize their gear way more than they're doing now. We want constraints to have a very impactful meaning for players. We want it to be, as you're playing the game, you're really aware of your constraints. We want people to be like, oh, I have like 10 power left, and I could actually go in and be like, okay, well, I'm going to take the splash radius on my crater. I'm going to tank that down a whole bunch, and then I'm going to boost up my damage so I can hit, a very small area for a high amount of damage. And that's the goal of this, is to make players feel the constraints a lot more and give them more choices in how they deal with that.
Yeah. Well, we're doing something special with this episode that we're actually letting people call in to the show via Ventrilo, and we've got some people on the line. I think up first will be Punk from our community, who has a question for us. So if we can move her into the right channel. If those of you in the channel have questions, please be sure to go into Ventrilo, because we're not going to answer anything from chat. We're going to try to do this live and see if we can get anything to go. But Punk, are you with us? Hello? Tony, have you moved Punk over?
Yeah, Punk, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
There we go.
Woo!
I cannot hear Phobos and I'm talking now.
Oh no, they can't hear Phobos. That is actually a blessing in disguise, believe it or not.
I know somebody who's getting fired.
Aw.
Why don't we go ahead and have Punk ask her question then?
Yeah.
Since we can hear her.
If we can go ahead and have Punk ask your question, we can hear her fine. So.
Okay, great. Punk, go ahead and ask your question. They can hear you.
All right, my question is based on PvP. Do you feel that with the split happening, that PvP balance changes will be happening sooner? Like we can expect them to come maybe once every week or every 2 weeks, where you play with the numbers as we start moving on and progressing to get PvP more in a balanced state?
It's a great question. With PvP, PvE split, that's definitely, we have some more options available to us. And we have the combat design team that is totally working on that. And that's Crisis, Xenogenic, KTAV, and a bunch of others. Matt's really focused on the crafting side of things, so he doesn't really have a whole lot of insight into what's going on with the PvE, PvP split. So that's a great question. We are definitely have that option. I don't know what the combat team's plans are for that right now. But I think that the option becomes available that it's very easy to change some of the stats for things. But with the split and related to crafting is that crafting doesn't affect PvP gear anymore.
Right.
PvP gear will be a set rate of whatever it is, something. So that brings up my question to follow that up is, what is going to be the range of power gain in PvE? Now that we do have this PvE PvP split, it gives the option with crafting to actually have a much wider range than we currently have.
Yeah, that's actually one of the things that we're most excited about. We don't have numbers right now of exactly how a plasma cannon damage stat can vary. What I can say is that it will be bigger than it is now.
Bigger.
Yes, the range is
Great
going
numbers.
to be much bigger.
But I think that that's an important note for PvE players specifically.
Yes.
Is that we do want to see some more vertical progression in PvE than we currently have.
Yeah.
And while that is not happening through the tier system anymore, because we announced last week that the tier system is basically going away, but within each battle frame there will be a progression of power from that within each battle frame. So if you get a new battle frame, you will be able to level up, power it up, work with your constraint system, work with your crafting to actually create a much more powerful Tiger Claw than somebody else. And depending on how you build those constraints, as we were just talking about before, Frank's Tiger Claw might be completely different than my Tiger Claw because he's actually...
Oh, it will be.
Probably.
His will be good.
His will be good. Mine will be crap. And I'll run around not being able to shoot anything. So I think we had another question on Ventrilo. Tony, can you tell me who that was again?
Yeah, next up we're going to be bringing in Cucuzza.
Cucuzza, can you hear us? Or is everybody not going to be able to hear me anymore?
Cucuzza, can you hear Phobos?
Through the stream, yeah.
Go ahead and answer your question, Cucuzza. Tony
I
will be
got
our middleman.
Go ahead and ask your question, Cucuzza.
So this is kind of regarding, I guess, kind of your guys' last question. From my understanding, the general idea around the PvE PvP split, there's going to be a predetermined set of skills. If this is true, will this in a way be a restriction to players that want to cater to a style in PvP?
There's a lot of PvP questions. Thought we answered most of these last week, but apparently there's no PvEers out there right now, I guess.
No, they're all good questions.
They're great questions. I just feel bad for Matt because Matt has no insight into PvP whatsoever. He's like, yep, great. Yep. No. So on the PvP side, the current plan is that they will have set abilities. So Tiger Claw will have 3 abilities, and those will be the 3 abilities that it's along with a passive and a certain set of health and a certain set of weapon damage, and it will be a static set of gear. That's for this first initial split. Beyond that, we will have an open. We want to have an open range where you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, that's like an eventually.
But that's an eventually thing, not in the near future, but something that's coming later on. The big thing that this provides us, though, is that going back to PvE, is that it really helps PvE because now we can have specific abilities that might suck in PvP, but are awesome in the open world, and we can really put those on there without worrying about people gimping themselves in PvP. And so we are working on some additional abilities for PvE side of things that will not be on the PvP versions of the frames, but that'll go back into the crafting and customization system. So you might be playing completely different tiger claws in the open world versus PvP, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
I think next up we have Raijin on the call. Raijin, can you go ahead and ask your question?
I know you guys, I can't hear you, so I'm going to go ahead and go with it. But my question was for him, with the new crafting system, does that allow for loot to come back into play? I've been missing loot, and I'd love to see that come back
That's what
in.
I wanted to ask.
Oh my God, we have a PvE question. Thank
That's
you,
what I
Raijin.
wanted to ask, Raging.
Thank you, Raijin. We really appreciate that. That's a great question, though. Go.
So the short answer is absolutely yes. The long answer is...
What?
So I'm going to go into some of the specifics for the crafting system here. So in the process of breaking apart the attributes from each other that you can modify on a weapon or ability or whatever, we basically came up with the construct of components and subcomponents. So components are the items that you will throw in at the highest level of crafting, the top level of a recipe. And these components are the things that control your stats. The subcomponents are things that feed into the components. They have a single quality rating on them. And they are built out of resources, which have the stats on them. So stats on resources feed into subcomponents that have a quality. Those qualities feed into components that control stats. And those components that control stats feed into weapons that have the summation of all components.
So do we have enough examples to actually give specifics? Like I have a plasma cannon.
Yeah.
That has components of a barrel, I assume. A receiver we talked about.
Yeah.
What else? I assume like a magazine or a clip is one of the components. What else in there?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
Well, so we'll say those three components.
Yeah.
What are subcomponents then? So if I have a barrel, what would be a subcomponent of a barrel?
So maybe some metal sheeting would be a subcomponent of a barrel.
And then I would need iron or something in order to create metal sheeting to create a barrel to create my plasma cannon.
Yeah. So getting back to the question that was asked, one of the things that we're going to be doing is you can craft these components. Well, we also want to add in optional slots in crafting recipes where you can go out in the open world and maybe you kill a Bane Claw and maybe every once in a while he drops a purple component that does some really cool stuff for your gear. So you can put that into your crafting recipes and make weapons and stuff that are just vastly different than anyone else can make because you got that rare drop off of a mob.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another version that we're looking at doing is items that drop off that have limited use that are fully built, very unique items that are limited use.
When you say limited use, what do you mean?
Limited use. Okay, so
this is the other bomb.
Here's a giant
I'm
bomb.
holding on tight because this is gonna be
durability.
Oh,
we are introducing durability.
Okay, so durability. You guys all heard that, right? Durability.
Durability.
If you need his phone number, address, Matt Cucuzza. Okay. So before they freak out, let's explain what is durability, how will it work.
So durability.
Knowing that this is still a system in design, so things may change, but
yeah, if you've played any of some of the older MMOs, durability, basically an item degrades over time, eventually becomes unusable, and you have to replace it. The goal of that is to create churn on resources and build an actual economy in our game.
yeah.
The way it works is your weapon has a max durability, we'll say 1,000 for now. It also has a current durability. As you use your weapon or as you die, death penalty, anyone? Yes?
Yeah.
The current durability goes down. Once it reaches a low enough point, your item will become less effective, at which point you need to repair it. After you repair your item, the maximum durability will decrease. Eventually, that gun will get to the point where it's pretty much not usable and you'll have to replace it. The thing to remember with sandbox-style games and games that have good economies, replacing those guns is not a big deal. you know, I can go back to the days of me playing Galaxies. You know, I'd go talk to a weaponsmith, and you know, I'd be like, oh, this gun looks really cool. Can you give me a crate of 10 of those? And so I just buy 10 guns, replace them over time, and then when I start to get low on my stockpile, I go talk to somebody, replace them again. That's
okay. So it is very important to note that the numbers there, the time, has not been decided. We don't know
that's
how
all
long,
up in the air.
We don't know how long a weapon potentially will last.
Yeah.
Could be a very long time, could be a very short time. It kind of depends on what we want to do.
Yeah.
I think the key thing to note there is the nice thing about that is that allows us to not have to wipe in the future. Because if we have an issue where there's too powerful weapons or anything, we can change the durability on that weapon and then it gets out of itself automatically. A durability system, let's be honest, is mostly a designer tool.
Yep.
It is not meant to be a fun gameplay mechanic.
Right.
The fun gameplay mechanic that comes out of that is the economy.
Yes.
By the fact that you now have these durabilities and these weapons disappearing, these items disappearing out of the world, it allows the crafting players and the economy players to really have something to do, rather than everybody be able to make everything all the time and it's perfect and it never goes away. Well, then after the first couple months of your game, economy's dead, nobody's doing anything.
Yeah.
So you're actually adding gameplay for players that want to do crafting, but you are creating a designer tool that allows you to control the economy a little bit.
Yeah. Another cool thing that comes out of that is depending on the resource shifts, it can actually cause changes in meta for players. Right now, there's resources spawning. I can make a crater that has super high damage. Cool. Those resources shift out. Eventually, those craters become deprecated out of the economy, and now a new item comes into the limelight. And so it's kind of like this waxing, waning effect on like which items can be crafted to perfection right now.
Right.
Or even if you like hoard items, right?
Yeah,
so if
exactly.
if you hoard items, then you can basically, like, I have this rare resource we got a lot of. We made a small run of stuff, but then when that falls out of the economy, we still have this really rare resource while everyone else is dealing with the common ones. So we actually control the economy in that.
So I might build that perfect plasma cannon. I'll build 100 of them. I'll only sell 20 on the market right now because I know 6 months from now
they're going to be worth
it's going to be worth 10 times as much.
Yep.
So there's definitely some things there. I saw just real quick. I saw on the channel talking about PvP, and Vakir already answered it, but this durability does not affect PvP at all.
No, not at all.
So I should say arena PvP.
Home gang PvP, right.
In the future, we'll obviously have open world PvP, and whether it affects that or not, still up in the air. We'll probably say yes for now, but we'll have to see how well the system overall works. I don't want to say yes or no anyways. So we had somebody else on Ventrilo there. Tony, why don't you introduce us and go ahead and have him ask their question.
All right, we got Cycloid here.
Cycloid,
go ahead and ask your question.
Great. I was wondering about the nanoprint crafting system. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
They can hear you. They just you just won't be able to hear them.
Okay, and I was wondering about filtering of the nanoprints and the potential sorting and lag issues with the.
So currently on the crafting station, you have this huge list of different things you can craft. How is that going to change with the system?
Yeah, that's also part of our milestone, is completely redesigning the crafting UI. It's horrendous right now and really a pain in the butt to use. Like,
Hater's on your team, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Hater is amazingly gifted at making complex things very simple to understand through the use of graphics and that kind of stuff. So we're absolutely going to be changing that around. We want what's the word I'm looking for? So I know a lot of people have played League of Legends. When you open up their shop, right, and you click on an item, you see a tree on how to build that item. We want something like that for our crafting system, especially since we're going towards this component, subcomponent kind of
that tree actually
process.
Pretty big.
Yeah. We want people to be able to, click on the blueprint, pull up that recipe, and actually navigate around through their recipes by clicking on different things. We want to introduce, like, once you select a blueprint, we want you to be able to sort through your resources, filter things out. Like, I only want conductivity I only want to look at coppers with conductivity above 752, and I don't want them to have malleability above 500 because I want to save that for something else. You know, be able to narrow in on the exact resources that you're looking for. Yeah, there's a lot of things that we want to do to clean that up and make it much easier to use. So it's not this massive process. Like, we don't want people to have to go to external websites to figure out how to craft something.
Right.
Like, that should be built into the UI.
Sure.
It should
Yeah.
be explained through play.
Although we thank you, RarFirefall.com.
RAR for Firefall. I'm sure they'll continue their efforts, which is great.
Yeah.
So hopefully that answers that question. I think we're going to take one more from Ventrilo if we have one, and then we'll go ahead and take a quick break. Tony, do we have one?
All right, yeah, we've got Blau here. Blau's been waiting for a while, so go ahead and ask your question, Blau.
Hello, guys. Was going to...
Yep.
We lost you, Blau.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep, got it.
Perfect.
Okay. I was going to ask a question about disenchanting the items into raw materials. If we're going to craft something which is going to lose its value after a while, are we going to have an option to break them?
That's a very good question. Not
We have-
something that we've decided yet.
Yeah, we have talked about scavenging systems in the
Yes.
past.
Yeah, we've been talking about it. One thing that I haven't brought up yet is we want to bring refining more to the forefront of the game.
Oh, that's a good point.
So there is going to be a change coming into the game where anything that you pick up in the open world has to go through a refining process before it's usable. That refining process was built in a way that we can allow anything to be refined, which means we have the ability in the future, if we decide to, from a design standpoint, to allow you to, say, refine a plasma cannon. What that means, who knows?
So going back a little bit, you say that everything that drops in the open world will require refining. Does that include if I get a barrel component off of some creature, because that's all, or did you say only subcomponents are going to drop?
That's still being talked about.
Okay. But if that item drops, I have to go refine that, or is it only resources?
The components, not sure.
Okay.
That's something that we'll have to talk about, whether or not you have to actually put that through a machine or not, but maybe not.
So another thing with this, I mean, so it sounds like resources will require refining. So
Yes.
when you pick up any new resources. But that also changes what, and we talked about loot dropping. Are resources still going to drop from creatures?
Resources will drop from creatures, but in a way that actually makes sense. So they're not going to be dropping crystite hybrids. They're not going to be dropping metals. They may drop organic compounds, which then can be refined and used in the crafting system. We want to make things actually
Be a little
make
bit
sense.
more, yeah. So if you're looking for organic compounds, you know to go kill creatures rather than I'm going to kill this creature and get azurite.
Right.
It doesn't make any sense.
I don't know why this bug just ate some azurite. It's pretty dumb.
So there's a lot more changes coming to the crafting system.
Yeah.
We are just a couple weeks into our milestone right now, so decisions have been starting to be made. I've seen the UI starting to get made. We'll have more and more blogs on this over the next few weeks to deliver more and more information. Our goal here is that by the end of the milestone, you guys know exactly how everything's going to work, so we can start getting feedback even during the building process. So both progression and crafting, expect a lot more information over the next 4 weeks. For now, though, I think we're going to let Matt get back to work, and he's got some more work to do. Really appreciate you being on the show.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody who called in and asked questions. I know there's
Before
more.
he goes, can we get him to meow meow meow?
Why do you meow meow meow?
Because he does the best meow meow meow.
Only if we do it all together.
Are we going to do the whole thing?
Sure.
Or just the meow meow meow?
Start us off. This, after all, is
that's true.
your theme song, Matt Dewald.
Meow 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 meow. Okay, that's it. We'll be right back. We're going to take a quick break. Please be back. We'll be doing some Do You Even Art Bros coming up next. So talk to you guys in a bit.
713, that's me, building whole worlds and blasting enemies from my PC. My cash is stacked, my attributes maxed. I'm rolling in credits and gold like God mode. I'm a legend on the internet. Me and K-Dog 9 behind enemy lines, capping campus, leaving jibs behind until K-Dog's getting called to the kitchen. We're in a massive open world war and you taking a break to go eat some chicken. I get back to my work and I'm working the land. I'm fashioning a shovel just as fast as I can. Cause if I don't dig this cave by dusk, I'll get molested by the Slender Man. You think this a game? Man, you don't understand. Gaming ain't no game. It's a dangerous world where you gotta do what you do to survive. Then you gotta watch who you trust with your life. Aliens, ninjas, and spiders, and Nazis, and trolls. Gaming ain't no game. It's a dangerous world. Go ahead and see just how long you survive. But remember, watch who you trust with your life. Not to mention the robots and face-eating dogs. Level up XP with K-Dog on a kill streak, but this lag is making me mad and I hate this team, cause I all cheat. Shadowcat squad, watch me blast these noobs to hell. K-Dog's got my back, he drops in all caps, LOL. I'm like a Hammurabi samurai, eye for an eye, old code, red hot, ice cold, headshots with no scope, but these fools be glitching. I see your health keep refreshing, bro. Spawn killing punk, yeah, call a medic, I cut your throat. It's hard work, but I stay focused on the task at hand. But now there's some clown coming down, jeopardizing my plans. I'm serious, you need to come upstairs and log off. Say Nazis are making zombies, for God's sake. You want me to walk the dog? Gaming ain't no game. It's a dangerous world where you gotta do what you do to survive. And you gotta watch who you trust with your life. Crab people, snakes, Peyton Manning, and vampire bears. Gaming ain't no game. It's a dangerous world. Go ahead and see just how long you survive. But remember, watch who you trust with your landmines and mutants and Vikings and zombies and gangs. It all comes down to this, K-Dog. That fire-breathing slime pig just over the ridge. That's all that stands between us and the perfect campaign. Let's do this, my brother. But K-Dog doesn't say a thing. I look over and he's pointing my gun right at me. He says, don't bother checking your inventory or stat sheets. I cleared them all. I took everything. I check and my stomach drops. He says it was easy infiltrating your squad. And now the Shadow Cats will reap the rewards. They're raiding all your secret campsites in the forest as we speak. I scroll to my knife and I'd be careful what you do next. You and I both know this is a cowboy repeater, he says. It deals 90x corrosive flame elemental damage. No, don't do it, K-Dog. We can beat the slime pig together. I promise I'll never tell. Your time is up, he says.
Goodbye, Big Ball 713. I'll see you in hell.
And with that, there's a blast as I fall to the ground, and my health bottoms out, and the world's upside down. K-Dog, I trusted you. 8 months I fought at your side, and you took everything from me. How could you commit such a crime? If it's the last thing I ever do on this earth, I swear by the old gods and the new that I will find you, K-Dog 9. I will find you and visit horrors upon you, the likes of which mankind has never seen. And if you ever
get upstairs right now, understand me?
But all I was
now.
Jesus.
Gaming ain't no game. It's a dangerous world where you gotta do what you do to survive. And you gotta watch who you trust with your life. Dimensional tentacle space demon brain. And ain't no game. It's a dangerous world. Go ahead and see just how long you survive. But remember, watch who you trust with your life. You've been working for Shadowcat Squad all along. And ain't no game. And ain't no game.
Hey guys, welcome back to Firefall Live. For those of you just joining us, since we're on the front page of Twitch, I want to remind you that we do Firefall Live every Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific.
Yep.
This is just a show for us to talk to the community, give them community news, updates, what's happening in the studio, introduce dev team members, and talk about what's happening with the game. Big thing that's happening right now, and the reason we're on the front page of Twitch, is the fact that we've just integrated Twitch streaming into Firefall, so that you can stream directly from the game, including chatting with your viewers directly from the game, which is something no game has done.
Yeah.
So that's pretty awesome. If you're in beta or you'd like to participate, be sure to go to firefallthegame.com, download the game, you can start doing that, because for the next 8 hours, we're going to be watching everybody streaming. We want as many people possible streaming Firefall, and we will be giving away Razor Mice once an hour to anyone streaming Firefall live on Twitch, except for Red 5 Studios members.
Oh man.
Sorry, guys.
I was about to get right to my desk and be like,
we denied him on the skill shot video. We're denying him on the streaming. He's gonna flip a table on me.
Cutting it down.
Look,
but anyways, we're gonna go back to our regular scheduled stuff, which means that this segment is all yours.
Do you even art, bro?
Oh yeah, that's
right.
right. That's right. We've got graphics, people.
right.
It's Do You Even Art Bro time, our very favorite fan art section that we do every single week. It's a monthly competition, and artists in the community are fighting, are drawing, are baking, or any kind of arting for a chance to win a signed Firefall poster from our entire art department, art leads. I mean, we sign it like it's a pretty. It's a pretty big deal.
It's a big deal.
It's up there. I mean, new car, Firefall poster. Ooh. Okay.
Right?
I don't know.
Right?
I'm just rolling with.
What was that?
It was his impression of Andrew Dice Clay is what it was.
Exactly. That's what it. It's an animal. I can't do Andrew Dice Clay because I'm going to start cussing. Okay. So first up, our first artwork for the week, we have got. This is Laser Reaper's. I'm calling it Big Bio.
Oh, is this another one that wasn't named?
Yeah, I'm saying Big Bio. I mean, he's big, he's burly, and he looks kind of like a bio.
This art style reminds me of something.
You know what? He reminds me of like a like one of those alien dudes from Fifth Element.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
The big giant ones that had the Fifth Element.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Krogan. Krogan, that's another good one. Yeah.
Or Krogan.
Krogan. Yeah. Okay, so I like this. I like the colors. I like how it looks like it's glowing.
Yeah.
It's well done. What? It does look. It looks like it's glowing. Don't look at me.
I'm just like, I love the fact you're going into like a whole art review.
This is an art competition.
The palette is just totally.
I mean, there's just enough information that you need on the.
What's the next one?
When a better time to go into an art critique than an art competition? I mean, really. Okay, next.
This is art sports.
Art
sports.
Art sports. We've got Bio Sky. This
Where's
is
all
from
the assaults, bro?
How come they all have helmets? Do you guys really want helmets that badly in the game?
I mean, they look cool.
The helmets would look pretty sweet.
This is from Desanct.
He had no idea how to pronounce it.
I'm terrible at pronouncing
Desanct?
real names besides foreign names. You know what do you want me to do?
Desanct?
I like this.
Anyone?
I like this a lot. This is cool.
Akimbo Needlers.
Yeah. What do you guys think?
It's cool.
I like the muzzle flash.
Oh, muzzle flash. Got an art critic over here.
Yeah, big time. I don't know. I just recycle whatever I hear from FX Nerd.
Good. Great. That could be dangerous. Next artwork we've got.
What the?
This is the Nautilus from the game. I think it's kind of like a real life Nautilus from Fabrizio.
I saw that in real life. I freaked.
Fabrizio.
Yeah, I would. Oh, Fabrizio.
Come on.
This is Fabrizio 21 RJ.
What is that? It's like made up of different things.
It's
Knife Lady says bacon.
Knife Lady. You're
It's
saying
like a
bacon?
crab with an octopus and a shell and bacon.
It does.
It
kind of
looks
look
pretty
like a piece
damn
of bacon.
cool.
Dude, I don't know, but I would eat.
I like the water.
Not that I'm very picky with what I eat, clearly. But
anyways,
next up we have got the Firefall unicycle from Erkin.
I actually we sent this around the office, and then they actually exist.
Yeah,
like single tire motorcycles exist.
They're real.
And it makes me want one so badly.
Oh god.
That would be the worst decision.
Probably for me, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, for anyone really, one wheel motorcycles.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anyways,
now that just has to be in the game, even if they don't win.
Except I like he was leaning back because look at the seat. So you'd like lean back on this one wheel.
It just you'd be constantly doing a wheelie. Am I right?
Dun, dun, okay.
Now it's time to vote. Which one do you guys like the most? That will go into the weekly pool, the weekly winner, and at the end of the month, that will have competition to win the poster.
Okay.
What do you think?
You're up first.
Oh, I'm first.
I'm the tiebreaker.
Okay, I'm going with BioSky. D-Sank's BioSky. I like it's flying. He's cool. It looks cool. He's got the sky there. I mean, the muzzle flash. We've already discussed
the sky and the muzzle flash and the things.
There's so
and
many things.
The blue, it makes you...
all of the things. Why do you sound like, what's his name? It's got the sky muzzle flash.
I don't even know his name. You can do his
Christopher
voice.
Walken.
Christopher Walken. There you go. Yeah.
I wish
Who do you think,
Anyways,
Frank?
Go ahead.
I like Nautilus.
Wow. Really?
Yes.
I thought you were gonna go for Big Bio. Nautilus.
Really?
Okay.
I like Nautilus. I think it's a really cool piece. Like, it's just really. I feel safe, except for there's a Nautilus there.
What? You feel safe?
Okay, you were fine up until that. I feel safe.
I would feel safe in this portrait. Like it seems calming.
Giant octo crab.
It seems calming up until the point that there's a Nautilus there.
I just want this.
There's no
giant crab to,
Argonauts,
like,
okay?
Hold me and sing songs in my ear.
There's no Argonauts. Just saying.
Yet he hasn't spawned them.
Well.
Okay, so
until then,
who do you?
I really like this
one.
one.
Who are you going for?
I don't know.
BioSky and the Nautilus.
Shut up, Antilles.
Because if I vote for a different one, then it's a three-way tie.
We could then at that point put it on the.
That'll be the first
if
time.
You want. It'll be the first time.
That'll be the first time, and I think that's an executive decision that if you're playing the drinking game, that's like 2 drinks.
Yeah, this is 2 drinks. If you're playing the Firefall
it's a whole
drinking
bottle
game.
if they freaking
or
unanimous.
2 bottles.
2 bottles.
We have alcoholics for community members.
I
You guys
appreciate that.
The drinking games are like they start out at a
I
bottle.
hope you're coming to Boston, March 22nd. Please come to Boston.
Yeah, PAX
we need to
East.
talk.
We'll be there. PAX East. Be sure to come. I'm actually gonna go for the Nautilus.
I got beat out. This is
You didn't draw any of those.
I know, but I'm just saying this is the first
reason
time.
I like it is that it's creative. He took pieces and I actually watched it come together. He did a lot of work.
He did. Yeah. He sent in a couple versions. This was the final version.
I think the other art's great and it's great drawings.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure what the fantasies with biotechs are.
What the fantasies that Frank has
it's supposed
over
to be
here.
assaults, bro.
Anyways, I think it's great.
Nautilus, Fabrizio, you're going on to the next level. Okay, this is
He's
gonna
hate us now.
That
was offensive.
This is racist.
That was really
Fabrizio,
offensive.
congratulations! You have won this week for Do You Even Art Pro. So that means you're going on to challenge the other weekly winners. So at the end of this month, we'll have 4 winners, and they are going to be put on the forums. And if you're not a member of the forums, go to firefallthegame.com. Click on the forums link, and you will be able to vote at the end of the month on which art piece should get the poster. So there you go.
Pretty sweet.
Did you like that? That's my sign out. There you go.
I like.
Back to you.
Anyways, so that's going to do it for the show. Don't forget, for the next 8 hours, we're going to be giving away prizes all through Twitch. So every hour, we'll pick a new streamer. So start streaming Firefall.
Yeah.
If you don't have an idea of what to stream, they're doing a Sabotage PvP meetup right now. So they're playing some PvP. There's also a racing tournament starting like right now.
Yeah, or within an hour or 2.
Yeah. So hop on the game, get some of those streams going. We'll be watching all the streams and picking winners, and then make sure to follow us on Twitter to see who won. So Red 5 Studios on Twitter. Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for joining us for another Firefall Live every Friday at 10. Talk to you guys later.
Peace.